7:30, right here on The Source.
WOCA,
Your official news source, WOCA.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
ABC News Now. I'm Daria Albinger. Are you with me, girls? That's what Malala Yousafzai asked as she spoke to the World Bank today. The Pakistani teenager who was shot by the Taliban for speaking out in favor of education for all children was considered a strong contender for the Nobel Peace Prize. It went instead to the international watchdog, now ridding Syria of its chemical weapons. Too many people are hurt on the job. UL Workplace Health and Safety says there were more than 2 million lost workdays due to on-the-job injuries in 2011. It's time to put Fido on the scale. A British study says being overweight can be as bad for your dog as it is for his best friend. In fact, extra pounds can shorten a canine's life by up to a year. Best way to tell? See if you can feel his ribs. The first date is important, but a new study says it's the first kiss that really sets the tone for a relationship, especially for we women. Oxford University researchers found that we are more likely than men to change our opinion of others after puckering up. This is ABC News.
Dad, what are you doing in my cape?
I'm not Dad. I'm Safety Man.
Any parent can be a safety hero. It just takes a few simple steps. Start by replacing older smoke alarms with Kidda Worry-Free alarms. The 10-year sealed-in lithium battery means these alarms are always on. No low battery chirps and no battery replacement for 10 years. And Kidda makes it simple to choose the right alarm for the right location. Help make fire safety worry-free and give back the cape. Kidda Worry-Free alarms, available at the Home Depot.
Stressful things during the day can keep you awake at night. Instead of sleeping, your mind is still spinning from stress. Unisom is the help you need to fall asleep. Unisom sleep tabs are a clinically proven effective OTC sleep aid. You fall asleep 33% faster by easing into your natural sleep cycle. With Unisom, you wake refreshed and ready.
Here's your morning traffic report.
Unisom. A stressful day deserves a restful night.
Use as directed. Active ingredient oxylamine succinate versus control in a clinical study.
We want to talk right down to earth in a language that everybody here can easily understand.
And now it's time for the voice.
Don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
I want you to get up right now.
And go to the window.
Open it.
Stick your head out and yell.
Hated man! Top of the world!
The voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin.
You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
Look in my eyes. What do you see? The cult of personality. I know your anger. I know your dreams. I've been everything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the cult of personality.
Hello, welcome to another edition of The Voice of Ocala. Ordinarily, we're coming to you from the Gateway Bank on Friday. It is Community Gazette Day, but thanks to the folks at Gateway, we are out to support a great cause here, the fight against breast cancer. We're at the Country Club at Silver Spring Shores today. We're going to have the Ask the Cop show at 4 o'clock. The sheriff and the chief are on their way out here. It was at their request that we did this, and thanks to Tom Ingram and Gateway Bank, able to bring you this program today from the golf tournament itself, tee off at Tata's. I'm surprised, Tom, you're not out there hitting it around someplace.
I had the opportunity to play, but but the morning session had filled up, and it was an afternoon session, and I have the obligation of, putting on the best radio show in the Marion County area. So I had to leave the golf bag in the car today to do my obligation with the radio show.
You're on with Larry today, is what you're saying?
No, I said the best show in Marion County.
Okay.
Not one of the best, the best.
All right, well, we appreciate that, and love being with you every weekday from 3 to 6 right here on The Voice of Ocala. We love the comments we're hearing from time to time, not necessarily for the ego purposes.
Believe me, I've been getting ridiculed today about not playing, though.
Well, because everybody knows you and knows you're such a beggar that
they can't believe I didn't take
you not beg your way onto the golf course.
Well,
and
that's exactly
how you didn't get to play is amazing to most people. It's like saying there was a mouse in a room full of cheese and never got a bite. That's kind of how it is.
Well, I could have played. I just turned them down.
I got you. Okay. Mr. Golf, much in demand. Yeah.
There you go. Mr. Golf, check out my column every month in Best Version Media.
I hear it's gaining worldwide approvals, and I heard that you're in much demand, even over in Citrus County, so that's good. Today on the program, we've got that hour with the sheriff and with the chief, and we like to say this because I think people who just sort of take for granted that this is normal. I don't know any other city in America, maybe there is, who gets both the chief of police and the sheriff to come on the radio live for an hour every other week on the second and fourth weekend. And we don't say it to brag on us or brag on the radio. So just we're grateful for that they'll take the time and quite frankly, answer any question you want to ask them. They don't ever say, don't ask me about that or whatever. So it's a really healthy dialogue for the community. We have questions every month, and we print those questions again in the downtown neighbors that you may get at your house, whether you live in the southeast section, or you live in the downtown section, or you live out at Country Club Ocala, or maybe you live out at Golden Hills, or maybe on Top of the World or Oak Run. All those publications go in there, and we reprint the best questions every month. So we appreciate, again, the dialogue, and we appreciate the chief and the sheriff taking part in this. And quite frankly, I appreciate the fact that they participate in this event, which they're backing both. I know that the sheriff was at a pink tennis shoe ball on Friday night, texted me and said, "Can you come out?" And I said, "Well, ordinarily I'd say yes, but tonight I've got magazine deadlines, so I can't do it." So both the chief and the sheriff very active. So they'll be along shortly. We'll visit with them. Tom, are you following any stories today? You've been too busy setting up.
No, I'm following some stories. There's a new poll out today, buddy, that CNBC and NBC News put out. 60% of Americans, when asked who do they blame for the government shutdown, let me guess, the Republicans, the Democrats. Here's the options. The options were Republicans, Democrats, or fire them all. 60% of the respondents said, fire them all. Fire them all. 60% of the people asked said, we don't care who's at fault, get rid of the whole bunch of them.
Saw the poll last night on 6:30 News, and saw it broken down. I think that the deal was, as I remember the numbers, that the Republicans took the biggest beating. I want to say 30-something%. Is all they had, and the Democrats are right around 50 or something, or 40-something. But it concluded, and I say this without bias and prejudice. I repeat what I said to you the second day that we were on this death watch for the economy. A party is about to commit political suicide here. And I'm afraid that's what's happening, and that's not a good thing for even the Democrats.
No.
Because you want two healthy parties. We're bipartisan. We want two parties in Congress, unless they can't get along. Let's just throw them all out.
Keep each other in check.
But they're so checking each other so much that they can't seem to get anything done. So those polls don't surprise me at all. Sometimes I think maybe Congress lives in a bubble. They don't know until they go home and actually talk to people about the price of a loaf of bread or a gallon of milk. What's going on in the world? They get their pay no matter what. Well, they don't get laid off.
My problem is you vote for them and you send them there to do the people's business, and then they take their idea of what they think they want to do, and they do that instead of what the people want them to do. And it's quite clear the people right now don't want this. They want them to get in there and negotiate and get a budget done and to get a debt ceiling done and start running the country. The majority of Americans, Republican, Democrat, or Independent, as these polls display, don't want what Congress and the President are doing right now.
Well, I've taken an oath this week not to grumble, because there was no grumble day a couple of days ago, and I'm just not going to grumble and grouse all the time. So I'm not going to grumble and grouse. We're all ticked off about it. Hopefully, I'm going to take the high road and say something's going to get done next week. I'm going to be positive, because nothing else seems to be working.
Also, I'm following, buddy, the Insomniac Theater will go dark at the end of November permanently.
Too bad.
Losing a downtown, and they said money is the major reason why it's going dark.
Well, they're operating on a shoestring anyway.
They're going to go back to being the nomadic performance company they used to be, performing wherever they could get
on
a
the
venue.
Streets.
Yep.
Right. That's too bad.
And also, early this morning, 2 men shot to death in the apartment complex. Let me see where it was. I forget.
Yeah, one from Fort McCoy, one
Serenity
from Gainesville.
Apartments, yeah. Mm-hmm. As we got an altercation with a young man at Dr. B's, followed Christopher Cowley Bonneker, 28, home. They were slashing his tires. He yelled for them to stop. They come up, forced their way into an apartment. Him and the two men in the apartment forced him back out. They threw a trash can through the window, came back in the apartment. He fired a warning shot, told them to stop. They kept coming at him, and he shot and killed both of them.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask the sheriff and the chief a question. We have a question about that. I had several written questions. One of them is about a person who has a gun wanting to know, when should I shoot? You know, when do you have when you feel threatened, and or exactly when is that? So,
well, Major Tommy Bibbs says it appears William and Scott, the two men that were shot dead, intended to do harm to Cowley Bonneker at his home following the altercation earlier at the bar.
I don't know what harm means, but I get an idea. But I mean, the point is, if someone knocks on your door and kicks at your door, should you shoot them? That's the question.
Well, this was a little more than that. They came in, got put out, threw a garbage can through the window,
obviously,
and came back in.
Some violence. But I'm saying the average person, I have a person who wrote a question in about this very thing, about knowing exactly when he's got a gun or she's got a gun, when is the time to act. And so we'll find out from the chief and the sheriff.
I think the time when you fire a warning shot and they don't stop, shoot them dead.
Well, we'll see, because, you know, you can just firing a firearm off, you can get in trouble, as you know.
I know.
So if somebody walks in, you're accidentally, you fire a shot, so you fired a shot now, and they say, well,
guess
I'm
what?
just going to my aunt's house next door.
Once again, that's the reason why this show is unique. We have the chief of police of the city of Ocala and the sheriff of Marion County on, and we can ask them that very question.
And we will do that. I want to also talk today about the story out of Forbes about the new crisis in America. Married couples' retirement is causing a crisis among them and maybe to the economy. I'll tell you about that. And what did Sheryl Crow know about Lance Armstrong, whether it Danny? Well, I can tell you a little story about that. And the really sad story today, Adrian Peterson's 2-year-old son was beaten up and is in critical condition by Joseph Patterson, 27, charged with aggravated felony. Awful story and an awful person, obviously. So we'll come back and talk about that next right here on the Voice of Ocala on a Friday at the Country Club at Silver Springs. We're here for the Big Top
George. Yep. Country Club at Silver Springs, George. On Community Gazette Day, brought to you by Gateway Bank. You're listening to us on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
This reprise of Ask the Cops is proudly brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976.
This is Ocala's Chief of Police, Greg Graham, answering one caller's question.
How often are the officers required to go to the firing range to keep their shooting skills up to par?
Great question. By FDLE rules, they're supposed to go once a year. We actually do, the police department does 2 qualifications a year, and then throughout the year we have practice days and sessions with them. But I tell you, the problem that we're having is we're having a difficult time getting ammo or enough ammo to have those practice days. But we do a minimum of 2 qualifications a year.
That reprise of Ask the Cops was proudly brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976. Be sure to tune in to Ask the Cops the second and fourth Friday of every month during the 4 o'clock hour on the Voice of Ocala.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA The Source.
WOCA.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
As we approach the holiday season, there are more reasons than ever to appreciate our veterans and military. For this year's Ocala Christmas Parade, Hires Baxley is selling front row bleacher seating to benefit our veterans. For a cost of only $24, a family of 4 will receive reserved parking, reserved street side bleacher seating, plus hot chocolate and cookies as they enjoy this year's Ocala Christmas Parade. 100% of the proceeds benefit the Ocala Ritz Veterans Village. There is very limited seating available, so to get your tickets, come to Hires Baxley on October the 12th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., located at 910 East Silver Springs Boulevard. WOCA will be broadcasting live starting at 10 a.m. So for the best seats in town to enjoy the Ocala Christmas Parade and help your local veterans, make sure you're at Hires Baxley on Saturday, October 12th.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information.
This is Tom Smith live from the Country Club at Silver Spring Shores with this update brought to you by Gateway Bank. In a few weeks, the lights will dim permanently at the Insomniac Theater on Ocala's downtown square. The edgy original acting troupe that formed 7 years ago announced Friday that at the end of November, it will shutter its venue in the historic building at number 1 East Silver Springs Boulevard, which the group has called home since the spring of 2010. This news update was brought to you by Gateway Bank, your new old-fashioned bank. Join Buddy Fridays for Community Gazette Day at Gateway Bank.
Hi, welcome back to the program here on a Friday. We're at the Silver Springs, we're at the Country Club at Silver Springs Shores, and they're having a golf tournament out there right now to raise money for breast cancer awareness. It's called Tee All for Tatas, and we expect the sheriff and the chief of police to be here a little bit later on for the second hour. Ask the Cops. Good cause here. This all the way around. The folks are doing a great job on raising money for breast cancer this month, and there's a number of functions. I know there was a big peak tennis shoe ball, and if you've seen some of the cop cars, they're spiffed out in pink, and a lot of things going on. So love to see the community get behind things like this. This is terrific for our community. Tom, on this story, I'm not be able to pull up the story yet. If you will, pull it up. But this is really, I really left wondering what is taking place here. Adrian Peterson obviously has a 2-year-old son, I guess not married. The woman lives in South Dakota or someplace?
Right, in South Dakota.
South Dakota with the baby. She has a boyfriend named Joseph Patterson, 27. The 2-year-old baby was beaten and is in hospital on critical condition. They've arrested Joseph Patterson on aggravated felony, could be murder, battery of an infant, and this has got people outraged. I don't want to blame anybody here, but I'm just saying, we hear about this too much. This is a repeating story. And you hear about the boyfriend beating up the child, and it makes me wonder what kind of people they let in their house.
Well, it's the boyfriend of Adrian Peterson's son's mother. They say the son's in critical condition and unresponsive.
Right. In critical condition.
Unresponsive.
Could very well
die. In Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And Joseph Patterson, who's been charged with aggravated assault, he has prior domestic abuse record with different women and children. having pled guilty to simple assault in an incident last year involving an adult female and a juvenile male. So this is a guy with prior history of domestic abuse on women and children.
Great guy to let in your house.
Yeah, they say the child was in Patterson's home at Platinum Valley Apartments where the boy had recently moved with his mother. And this is a recent relationship. They've not been dating very long. Patterson called 911 to report a choking on Wednesday evening, but Lieutenant Blaine Larson of Sioux Falls Police Department said it became clear at the hospital the boy's injuries were not accidental. This according to USA Today. So, this is why I don't have children, buddy. And I've said this repeatedly, and people say, "Oh, you do." But I knew at an early age that I was not the parent type. That I overreact to minor situations too easy, and I lose my temper too easy. So I made a conscious decision not to have children, so that I wouldn't end up in a situation like this. And if more people would make that conscious decision and know that you're not parent material, that takes me back to, I just want to say, I have to have a license to get a bass fish out of a pond, but I don't have to have a license to do childbirth. Something's wrong there.
Well, you hate to think that's what we have to come to in this world, but it does good for you for recognizing that flaw and realizing that it's better that you not get involved in it. And people, you can say it all you want to. The fact is that it's it's again, like your mother told you, the kind of people you hang around with. That's right. That's the deal, and it reflects on you. So, our prayers go to that child.
Think about this. Think about this mother now that she brought that baby into that situation.
Yeah, right. And as I said, we just pray for that child. Usually when things don't pass the smell test, most time when your instincts tell you something's wrong, then it's most always wrong. And I think about this next story. I remember seeing Sheryl Crow with Lance Armstrong, and all lovey-dovey. They were very much in love, and they were thought they found their soulmate, and several situations like a couple very much in love and happy and finding happiness later in life, what have you. And I'm a big Sheryl Crow fan. I'm not so much Lance Armstrong, but I did admire what he did till I found out how he did it. But what happened when it happened when she broke it off with him suddenly? I thought to myself, there's something not right here. To go from being madly in love and suddenly they're done in a matter of almost days. And now I'm reading the story today that Lance Armstrong openly doped in front of Sheryl Crow.
Yeah, did a blood transfusion on his private jet in front of her.
Yeah. So this came from a New York Daily News on the book about to be published. It says, rather than try to hide the transfusion from her, Armstrong was completely open about it. He trusted Crow would have no desire to tell the press or anyone about the team's doping program. He explained that it was simply a part of the sport, that all cyclists are doing the same thing.
Well, and she went and so she agreed to some immunity to tell federal people about it.
So this book coming out, Wheelman, Lance Armstrong, the Tour de France, the greatest sports conspiracy ever, comes out next week. And this, I guess, is in this book about, and again, once again, didn't pass the smell test, so obviously something was wrong there. And it came about, right, and good for Sheryl Crow for just saying, I'm done, and not hanging on and not covering it up. This is something that I found very, very interesting. Obviously, I'm a little older than you guys, so I think about things like this. But, as easy as retirement ought to be and should be for people, of course, you know me, I'll never retire. You'll have to haul me out of here in a pine box. I'll still be talking on the microphone when you do. But a lot of people do. They plan their lives out to retire at a certain time. A lot of those retirements delayed today by the economy. And a lot of young people say, I wish you would retire and get out of the way so I can get a job. But this is an interesting story in Forbes about the U.S. faces a married couple's retirement crisis. This comes from a guy who writes, a woman actually, a Chicago psychologist who writes a book called A Couple's Guide to Happy Retirement, for better or for worse, but not for lunch. She says, over the years, I've seen many couples who enjoyed a long, happy marriage only to be thwarted by serious marital problems when one or both people retired. Now, you think in your golden years you've reached your goal, and now the good times start, right? we see all these pictures on billboards and magazines and about this happy couple living in a great Florida retirement community, playing golf every day and loving life. Like, this, not good times. But according to this woman, Sarah Yogath, says, I'm convinced that a troubling trend has emerged that will be double retiring couples for years to come. She said newly retired people report the lowest marital satisfaction and the highest conflict compared to those who are retired a long time or still employed. And one of the reasons is that the study they did, they found out married couples who aren't retired disagree a lot about how and when and where they'll retire. About 4 in 10 couples, almost 40%, disagree as to the lifestyle they expect to live. 36% of the couples don't agree on or don't know where they plan to live in retirement, up from 33% in a 2011 survey. And a third of the couples approaching retirement, 32%, don't agree on whether they'll continue to work in retirement. So who is happy anymore? You're not happy when you're starting out because you can't get to first base and you're struggling to make ends meet and raise a family, and then you get into your job and you're doing well, and all of a sudden in your 30s and 40s, your pressure hits you, and then you hit your 50s and you think, well, I'm too old and young people are going to take my job, and then you hit in your 60s, you think, well, let's go retire, and you can't agree with your spouse on retiring. Odd, isn't it? Are we ever going to be happy? I don't know.
And the thing is, I'm not real sure, and I think this is the crux of it. Everybody says that retirement's the easy days. I bet if you did the research and looked, it's a direct link to now they don't have that 8 or 10, 12 hours apart that jobs create and everything. And they get together, whether they're together 24 hours a day, and find out, you know what, I don't like you a whole lot.
Yeah, it's probably true. I know a story of I'd actually someone who told me they knew these people. A couple that he was an airline pilot, flew around the world, and they were married for 30-something years. And they had a good marriage, good life. He retired, he came home, a year later they got divorced.
Well, my second wife and I, she was on the road, she was a consultant, and she was on the road for 4.5 years, and then the economy took a downturn, and she lost her job and couldn't find a job for 6 months. She was at home every day of the week for that 6 months, and we got divorced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so those things do happen, I suppose. It's just odd you think this is a time when you've worked all your life to get to, and you would want to be able to. Here's the thing. I saw a piece on CBS Sunday Morning, which is one of my favorite shows.
You do like it.
About a guy who's 92 years old. I forget where he was, like Nebraska. And he was doing artwork. And the artwork he was doing with great dexterity and passion on the top of toilet seats. And he had a whole big garage of these, and they were really good. He had a whole bunch of stuff, like he had pieces of the shuttle that were people found. He put it up, made artwork on the toilet seat. I mean, it was really good. If you don't, and of course he likes the toilet seats because he was a plumber. So for 92, he's 92, and he is so passionate. He's out there working. He's bent over with a cane. He really does a great job. I mean, the artwork's really good. And I'm thinking, you know what? He's going to be around for a while because he's very happy and he's dedicated and passionate. He's got something to live for, and he takes great pride in his work. So I think it doesn't matter what you do, as long as you love it, you're passionate about it. I think that's a great thing about keeping people going, no matter what age. Do something, even if you just do artwork on top of toilet.
Well, you've heard the old adage that he died the day he stopped working. I had a next door neighbor of mine, Mr. Britt, that was a bricklayer in the neighborhood I grew up in when I was a little kid. And Mr. Britt, we had a big party on a Sunday night cookout in our backyard because Mr. Britt was retiring and not going to lay another brick. He was 83 years old. We had the party on Sunday night. Mr. Britt died Thursday morning.
Yeah, and we all have those persons. We had in our neighborhood a guy who was very successful, worked for Gates Rubber in Denver. His name was Harry. I actually used to write a blurb in my column about him in Denver. And in fact, the L.A. Times would pick it up every now and then. They picked up parts of my column. It was Neighbor Harry. He was always doing something or saying something that was outspoken, and Neighbor Harry was pretty famous for her little whirl out there. And Harry retired. He sat in front of the TV and smoked his pipe and watched the stock market every single day. A year later, he moved to California, and a year later, he was dead.
Yeah.
And it's just you have to have something that keeps your juices flowing, that connects you, that keeps you, makes you. You have to have a purpose to get up for in the morning. That's the key right there. So
you're right.
All right, we're going to take a break. We come back. We'll tell you about Mark Zuckerberg. Sometimes you want to buy a house. Oh, that's okay. Well, Mark Zuckerberg took it to a new level, apparently. And it's time for Fake or Factoid. I don't know. You guys got to step up your game. I'm going to make a new favorite today. I think Austin's going to win today. I just got a feeling.
Well, somebody needs to win besides me. I mean, come on.
Please. You won a couple. You got lucky, and by the way, get set the record straight. You struck out yesterday too, so just make sure.
But I beat Austin and JJ. That's all that matters to me.
But you struck
You're
out.
the king of random facts, though. You do trivia.
I am the king of random facts.
You're the trivia. You ought to be winning every time.
Exactly.
So we have to go because Tom has got a friend he has to talk to. So we'll take a break. Come back after this timeout on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Having the motivation and making the commitment to quit smoking is a great first step towards becoming smoke-free. However, anyone who's tried to quit smoking knows how challenging it can be. Having the determination to quit may not be enough. You may need some help. If you're ready to quit smoking and are between the ages of 18 and 75, currently smoke 10 or more cigarettes a day, and can commit to participating for 24 weeks, you may be interested in a research study which is being conducted to evaluate the use of investigational drugs to see if they can aid individuals in their quest to quit smoking. To help you quit, smoking cessation counseling and all study-related medical care will be provided at no extra cost. You may also be reimbursed for your travel time. To receive more information about this study, how you can participate, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. That's Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala, 352-629-5800. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Your home for Florida State football all season long. WOCA, The Source.
On Mondays, AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Michael Kaiser. He's the Executive Director of the National Cybersecurity Alliance.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-sized.
Pastor Pete Wilson will be on. He's the founding and senior pastor of Cross Point Church in Nashville, Tennessee. He's coming out to speak about his book, Let Hope In, 4 Choices That Will Change Your Life.
Aaron D. Snyder is a diabetes survivor. He'll be speaking about his book, The New Diabetes Prescription.
And then Matt Gibbs will be in the studio from Sunrise Automotive answering your questions on his show, Auto Repair with Personal Care.
Scott Hammond works with Rocky Mountain Rescue Dogs in support of search and rescue teams. He's written a book called Lessons of the Lost.
And then Eleanor Sullivan will be with us. She's a nurse and dean of nursing at the University of Kansas, and she's speaking about her book, Graven Images, A Singular Village Historical Mystery Novel. All of that plus Fun with Joe on Mondays, AM Ocala Live, right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Hi, my name is Doug Smith. I was born with Down syndrome. Some say it's a handicap. I say it's just a word. When I was a kid, I went to the Special Olympics, show some love to my new friend, Miami Dolphins, running back Don Nottingham.
Thanks, Doug. Don Nottingham here, former Miami Dolphin, talking to you today to see if I can get you to come out and support the Special Olympics in Marion County. Come on out to Silver Spring Shores Country Club and let's tee it up and make some money for the Special Olympians of Marion County. For additional information, please contact 352-462-0380 or visit them at the web, www.soflmarioncounty.org.
Man, I love this guy.
The Special Olympics Golf Tournament will be on Saturday, October 26th at 8:30 a.m. at the Country Club of Silver Spring Shores.
Come on out and visit with me and some of my friends and raise some money for this very worthwhile need.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.
This is Tom Schmitz live from the Country Club at Silver Spring Shores with this news update brought to you by the Angie Lewis State Farm Agency. 2 men, one from Fort McCoy and one from Gainesville, were shot to death in Ocala early Friday. The killings occurred in the Serenity apartment complex. According to detectives with the Marion County Sheriff's Office Bureau of Special Investigations, the deceased men are Robert Anthony Williams of Fort McCoy and Jeffrey Blaine Scott of Gainesville. The man who shot them has been identified as Eric Christopher Callie Banacker, 28, of Silver Springs. Major Tommy Bibb, head of the Bureau, said that from preliminary reports, it appears both men were intending to harm Callie Bachner at his home. According to this news break was brought to you by Angie Lewis State Farm Agency. Join Angie weekly as she joins Buddy for her Biz Buzz and Good Neighbor Award.
Well, you walk into a restaurant strung out from the road.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala, located today at the Country Club at Silver Spring Shores with a golf tournament, the Tee Off of Tatas, and thanks to Gateway Bank, who are usually there on Fridays for the Community Gazette Day, but the Community Gazette is being held right here in the lounge at the
well, we're in the community.
Club. We're in the community, exactly. So coming along shortly, the chief, I know the chief of police is here, Greg Graham. We might get him to play Fake or Factoid with us as well, and maybe he can class the thing up a little bit, because you guys are really not doing very
well. You know, so, what do you want from us? You're the one that coined the phrase where you got mediocre hosts but great guests, okay?
That's true, yeah. That is true.
So you ain't doing a lot to class up the joint either, pal.
Let me tell you about, when you buy a house, what's really cool instead of buying a house when you can buy the whole neighborhood, Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg decided he was going to buy a house. He paid $7 million for in Palo Alto, which is a beautiful community. And he bought 4 of them.
He doesn't like neighbors, I guess.
Yeah, so about $30 million worth. And we're not sure, but they say that he's leasing the homes to various families, reportedly. And he bought his house, as I said, a short drive from Facebook, the headquarters, about 2 years ago. And it's become a subject of curiosity for many people who drive by there. People converged on his home to pick it last February. He held a fundraiser there for New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. And Steve Jobs' home in Palo Alto has also become something of an attraction for those who are fascinated with the now-deceased Apple co-founder. So, yeah, it's a cool thing. Let me go by my son. Let me buy a neighborhood. Oh, what the heck? Come on over. I'll give you a rent-free house. So, Mr. Zuckerberg.
Well, you got one right next to you. I'll take it. Just go ahead and buy it for me.
I wish somebody would take it. I tell you what, the one next to me needs to be bulldozed.
There's 2 of them next to you.
Well, no, one of them's pretty good shape. The one next to me needs to be bulldozed in 22nd. It was on the front page of the Star Banner a year and a half ago as one of the worst cases of a house being abandoned in the middle of a nice neighborhood. But anyway, so I said I wasn't going to grumble, and that's it. Okay, JJ, are you available? All right, can you hear everything okay there? Because I don't want you to have any disadvantages. I want you guys to get your game face on, and as we get our disclaimer. It's become one of the most popular segments on our show. I think it's because you know how Johnny Carson used to bomb in his monologue and did so badly?
Right.
How much people liked it? Yep. Well, people just love to hear you guys bomb, apparently. I'm here.
Well, let me give the disclaimer. Right. These questions have not been fact-checked by anybody. Buddy Barton swears they're right, but we don't agree with him ever.
Mm-hmm. Good. I like that. That'll work. We just say this. It doesn't matter what the questions are. You guys still wouldn't get them right. It doesn't matter. I could make them all up, or I can pull them out of a hat, or I can make them all wrong or all right, and you still wouldn't get them.
You know, one of the things I like doing about this job is when you're live on remote like this, the way people will walk by and think that their normal conversations can be heard, so they're all like, oh, did we do something? And they all get scared like they've ruined the radio program.
Well, they walk up and start talking to you. You have no idea what you're saying.
Or here's what they'll say. Hey, are you on the air?
Yeah. Almost like people walk by when they're over where JJ is, over at the Paddock Mall, people walk by. They stop and wave like they're on television.
Yeah.
Like saying, hey, Mom, how you doing?
You think we're filming you, pal?
Well, we love it. We
do. Have a good time.
All right, let's go. You guys ready to go?
I've got to get the score sheet out so nobody can cheat.
Please. Austin, double check.
I got you.
I'm counting on you today, bud.
JJ and Austin already have 2 wrong.
Yeah. No, he'll pencil whip you if he can't
Yeah,
beat
maybe
you.
that's what it is.
Excuse me, it is a golf course.
Yeah, exactly. All right, number 1. Listen up. Canned soup actually offers more nutrition than homemade soup.
False.
False.
Good job. You guys started right off with a good. You got to win.
We listen to Lori Martin Gregory, buddy.
That's what I was in there for. So, all right, that's 1 down. You're all positive. Number 2, it is possible to lead a cow upstairs, but not downstairs.
False.
True.
It is true, JJ. You got 1 miss. Come on, JJ.
Here goes the chief of police walking in the building right now.
Maybe he can help us out. Maybe I'll let him jump in and play with you. Maybe he can class it up a little bit. Come on, Greg, just in time to help it out on this true and false. You guys need a lot of help here. They're missing all these. You can just, so you keep the headset, Austin. He can just answer and tell me. I'm having a, oh, by the way, how you doing? Good to see you. True or false? These are factoids and fake, and we have this every day.
You know,
and Tom and Austin and JJ have failed miserably at this, okay?
The chief just failed miserably. Fat guy in the building, he doesn't bring a fat guy a piece of pizza?
Well,
man.
People wonder what the chief is saying right now, but we have to wait to get to this game. Now, you just tell me up or down on this. Here's the next. We're 2 in so far. Number 3, fake or factoid? Chief Greg Graham. 90% of people 18 to 29 years old, 18 to 29, remember the age, sleep with their phones in or right next to their bed.
True.
You're right. You all got it right. Very good.
18 to 29. How about 18 to 69?
Anyway, as I'm saying, sticking to the script and not having Tom start telling me what he thinks he's the trivia king, so he thinks he knows all the answers to these. Number 4, you're 50% more likely to remember something if you speak it out loud instead of simply reading it over and over and over.
True.
Very good. You guys are killing it. Only 1 miss so far. Number 5.
Who has that miss?
Crabs have blue blood, while worms and leeches have green blood.
True.
False.
I think that's false.
Who said true?
Me.
Austin got it right. You guys missed. Each of you got a miss. Okay. Number 6. Studies show that people who feel lonely are more likely to take longer showers and longer baths.
False.
True. Who said true? The chief and Austin got it right.
JJ's out.
True.
JJ's out.
Austin's hanging in there. He's my pick for the day. All right, here you go. Cheaters all have the same idiosyncrasy. They lie about receipts on their credit cards and or expense accounts.
True.
JJ? It's false.
I'm out.
All four of you missed out.
I'm out. Austin wins.
It sounds logical, though, doesn't it? Okay, number 8. The state of Hawaii actually consumes more pork than the country of Japan.
True.
False.
Spam is made of pork.
What did you say? See, false? It is
true.
in fact false.
Spam is made of pork.
It is in fact false. Okay, so how many truths do we have? 2? Okay. You get it down? Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, I don't know about you. I'm not going to check your score. Number 9. The best treatment for earaches is to heat up camphor oil, mix with a dab of pickle juice, and put 2 drops in your opposite ear.
I'm going to say that's false.
False.
True.
It's false, Tom.
Okay, I'm out.
You're out.
I just bucking the trend.
Number 10. 8 U.S. presidents were sons of preachers.
True.
Chief
It is in fact false.
Chief gets it right.
2, right?
Chief got it right.
So today Austin missed 2, JJ missed 4, and I missed 5.
Well, there you go. And put the honorary. What did the honorary guess? The chief.
He missed 1.
Hey, he's pretty good at this. All right. Very good.
And
Good
Chief
job.
missed one.
Let's have the Chief his headset now. Good job, Austin. See, I believed in you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
I told you get it done. We got about a minute to go. Let's put the headset on for the Chief and let him weigh in here. And thanks for playing fake or factoid with you. This is going to be a game show on TV, by the way. So one day. So will you come on it?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
It's going to be on TV, though?
No.
I was going to say, because I got a face for radio.
Well, no, that's me. You look
much
great on
like
TV.
No, I don't even have a face for radio.
much like your counterpart over
I
there.
don't know how I get on.
We have a face for facing the wall.
So Chief, how's the tournament going on out there?
Great. In fact, they sold out the afternoon, and they had to do another one in the morning. So there's actually they basically ran 2 tournaments today.
It's great. Well, we're going to talk to you about this. The sheriff's here too, and we're going to get him hooked up here in a minute and let him weigh in on it. But so you, I want to know an update on how you're doing with the attire, the pink attire, whether or not you donned it yet or not, or
my special
your pink underwear.
Let's be honest.
Imagine everybody hearing this conversation, not having any idea what it's about, thinking, what is
the chief of police, if a certain amount got raised, is going to have to put on a pink bra.
Well, no, I just does I have to wear it on the outside,
right?
Which that doesn't mean that I don't always wear a pink bra.
Well,
I like the support.
I understand. All right. Well, the sheriff's here, and we're going to weigh in here in just a minute. We're going to take a break. Come back, finish up with tweets and quotes, and we're ready for Ask the Cops. Brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976. You gentlemen, you ready to go? We'll tee it up, come back in just a minute. We'll start at the top of the hour. The chief and the sheriff are in the house. We're located today at the Country Club of Silver Spring Shores in support of the Tee Off for Tatas and Breast Cancer Awareness Month here. And we'll tell you about that later right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. I want to tell you about a conversation I had recently with General Manager Pat Murray on the great family atmosphere at Country Club of Ocala.
It's a family-first club. Again, we have any number of different types of memberships, but obviously the one that attracts the greatest level of interest is our family. And the reason for that is we have a little something for everybody. I mean, we obviously have a world-class golf course. We have 7 tennis courts here for all levels of tennis players. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center that's second to none, and we have state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness center.
Country Club of Ocala, where the facilities are all a family would ever need. For more information, call today at 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of Monday's Gator Report and Gator Talk Thursday right here on The Source. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Looking for hand-cut steaks or just plain good food made from scratch daily? Then head over to Cody's Original Roadhouse for a fun, casual, family-friendly meal. Plus, don't miss the best happy hour with 2 for $1, everything from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day, including Top Shelf. Unwind and watch your favorite college or pro team on one of our many high-def TVs. Cody's, you won't go home hungry or broke. You'll just go home happy. Cody's Original Roadhouse, where quality and value come together.
As we approach the holiday season, there are more reasons than ever to appreciate our veterans and military. For this year's Ocala Christmas Parade, Hires-Baxley is selling front row bleacher seating to benefit our veterans. For a cost of only $24, a family of 4 will receive reserved parking, reserved street side bleacher seating, plus hot chocolate and cookies as they enjoy this year's Ocala Christmas Parade. 100% of the proceeds benefit the Ocala Ritz Veterans Village. There is very limited seating available, so to get your tickets, come to Hires-Baxley on October the 12th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., located at 910 East Silver Springs Boulevard. WOCA will be broadcasting live starting at 10 a.m. So for the best seats in town to enjoy the Ocala Christmas Parade and help your local veterans, make sure you're at Hires-Baxley on Saturday, October 12th.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Home-owned and operated. WOCA, News Talk 1370.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala. We're live, as we said before, at the Country Club of Silver Spring Shores. Thanks to Gateway Bank and Community Gazette Day, we are here today for the golf tournament, as reported by the Chief of Police, Greg Graham, saying that the tee-off for Tatas is going quite well, so well that there's been a morning and an afternoon flight added, tournaments, the 2 tournaments today, morning and afternoon. They're playing slow, but they're getting it done out there. So good support there, and we'll talk more about that in the upcoming Ask the Cops segment. The Sheriff and Chief are here. Real quick, JJ, let's fire off our tweets and quotes, and we'll get right back to the Sheriff and Chief for a minute. Today, number 1, life is short, but there is always time for courtesy. Ralph Waldo Emerson. This comes from Anonymous. Number 2, you're confined only by the walls that you build for yourself. Number 3, money is better than poverty, if only for financial reasons. Woody Allen.
Every little swallow, every chickadee, every little bird in the tall oak tree.
All right, the Chief and the Sheriff are here. Gentlemen, welcome back. Good to see you again. And as per your directive, we're here for the event. And I know you folks have been a little busy today, but it looks like things are going quite well out there, Sheriff.
Yep, that's great. Good to hear that. And I know a lot of golf's taking place.
And a lot of conversation and a lot of strokes.
Absolutely. There you go.
A lot of high scores, which is what they do on these events, and that's what it's for. So I know both you and the Sheriff and the Chief are very involved in this whole thing. Was it just coincidence that both of you got so actively involved, Greg, in this event, or has it always been the Sheriff and the Chief who stepped in on things like this, or?
Well, I don't know, since I'm in my second year as the Chief.
Oh, I forgot you're an outsider. You're from Iowa.
He's the first term as the Sheriff, so I was involved. Well, I was involved in a lot of stuff when I was here as the Deputy Chief before, and then when I was in Iowa, I did a lot of stuff. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to say, isn't this a good thing?
Oh,
to have a legacy to carry on after you guys, that we can have, the Sheriff and Chief involved in these kinds of things, which provide great leadership and a support, which I'm sure that the folks appreciate very much.
Oh, absolutely. Well, the thing is you're members of this community first and foremost, and both of us are fortunate enough to be public servants second. But the more you're involved in your community, you want to make your community better, the better off you're going to be. So I was involved in the Heart Walk, and we surpassed our goal this year. In fact, last Saturday was the actual walk, and we had over 3,500 walkers, and that was a great event. And they've asked me to be the chair of the March of Dimes walk this year. So
nice.
Yeah,
I love that March of Dimes. It's great.
Well, my kid was a preemie. One of my kids was a preemie, so I've got firsthand knowledge of the stuff that the March of Dimes has done over the years. So.
wrapping up here, we got the big ball coming up on Sunday night at the Hilton. No, Ed Johnson, Lois Johnson are the couple being honored, and unfortunately I'll be out of town for that, but that's the big March of Dimes fundraiser. So next year, hopefully you'll be involved in some of that. Gentlemen, are you ready to go next hour?
Yep,
let's
ready
tee it
to
up
go.
and get ready to go. And,
Absolutely.
And we will be back with the Chief of Police, Greg Graham, and the Sheriff, Chris Blair, for Ask the Cops after this timeout. Coming back in the second hour on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
She grew up in an Indiana town, had a good-looking mama who never was around, but she grew up tall and she grew up right with them Indiana boys on an Indiana night.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price of fixed rate allowance.
Warning, there's been a zombie outbreak in Marion County.
Do you feel like a zombie in your old car? Are you embarrassed to be seen driving around town? Are your monthly payments sucking the life out of you?
You may be driving dead. Hey, this is Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales. If you're driving dead, I've got the cure. All you need is $13 down to drive alive in a nicer, newer car today.
Why drive a car that rots your brain when you can drive a car that's not a pain?
Put just $13 down and feel alive in a nicer, newer ride. Plus, my guaranteed credit approval process could bring you back to life. Even if bad credit has held you back in the past, I'm saving Marion County residents from driving dead.
So trade in your terrifying old ride, bring in $13 to put down, and drive home today.
I believe everyone deserves to drive a nicer, newer car, and this week it only takes $13. But hurry, this offer ends once we've revived 47 drivers. My name is Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See our Prestige.
Hi, it's Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness. I'm looking forward to a fun, healthy summer, and I have a few ideas that might just help you and your friends stay in shape and have fun too. Along with awesome personal training and group classes at our warm and inviting fitness studio, we also offer fitness classes at your home or business. And if you're tired of the same old, boring cake and punch party, why not let us host a hot new health trend, a fitness party at your home or office? If you're having a hard time getting to the gym this summer, because of your crazy schedule, then work out with your friends or coworkers in a private group fitness class or host a fitness party at your home or office. We will bring you and your friends or coworkers one of our great workouts like Zumba, Pilates, Body Bar, Yoga, Tai Chi Boot Camp, or Zumba Tonics for kids. We can even help you reach your long-term goals by meeting at your place weekly for an on-location workout. Check out our website at kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. Kinetic Motion Fitness is located just 5 minutes from downtown Ocala near the Skylark Plaza. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are.
This is Austin Tavern reminding you to stay in contact with us at WOCA. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at Voice of Ocala. Make sure to become a friend of our Facebook page and call us at 622